The pistol is the first firearm you unlock in the game, and it's an alright weapon. I mean, sure, it doesn't have the best range or damage, but it is a starter weapon. As you progress, you unlock better guns, and the pistol becomes something you only use occasionally. But what if we don't limit ourselves only to the pistol? What if we also limit how much ammo we can use? The maximum capacity you can carry is 1483 rounds. With 17 in the clip, that is a total of 1500 bullets to beat GTA 4. No picking up ammo, no buying any in a store. From the moment Nico arrives in Liberty City to the moment we take down the main antagonist, if I ran out of bullets, I failed the challenge. So in today's episode of answering questions no one asked, let's find out if you can beat GTA 4 by only using a pistol with limited ammo. The story begins as Nico arrives in Liberty City. His cousin, Roman, claims he's doing very well for himself, calling America the land of opportunity. But when we pull up to his supposed luxury condo, it turns out he was doing a bit of trolling and lied about his glamorous life here. Then Roman goes, "Hey, maybe we can make this work." So with no other choice, we start fresh from the bottom. In the morning, we head to Roman's cab depot, where we are introduced to Mallory, his girlfriend, and Vlad, his Russian loan shark. We drive Roman to an underground gambling room so he can dig himself even deeper into debt. And it turns out he's not just in debt, he's in debt, because some Albanian loan sharks show up looking for him. We manage to shake them off and drop our lying cousin back at the depot. Sometime later, Roman calls, saying the Albanians found him again. We arrive to his rescue, scare them off, and then go do some driving work, picking up Mallory and her friend Michelle. After we drop them off, Michelle gives us her number and tells us to call her. About 15 seconds later, she calls us asking for a date. And right after, Roman calls, saying those Albanian loan sharks with his stuff found him again. Unfortunately for him, I was already at Michelle's, and there was nothing I could have done. And yes, bros before hoes, but that only applies to bros who don't bait you into flying to another continent to live with them in poverty. For our first date, we go to a bowling alley where I show Michelle my competitive side and absolutely smash her because Nico is a bowling champion. She tries to even out the score by racing us back to the car, but loses that too. When we drop her off, she does not invite us in for coffee. I guess what they say is true. You're either good at bowling or you get late. We pick up our lying cousin who got absolutely battered by the loan sharks, only for him to get battered again moments later. Then we step into our first enemy encounter, and the first bullet of the challenge is a clean headshot. However, what follows is what's going to make this challenge interesting. This dude takes 2 bullets to the head, then wiggles and makes me miss. So for 2 enemies, we end up spending 6 bullets. After that, we chase the boss of the 2 guys we shot and make him collect his last debt. We keep helping Roman with his cab business and give a ride to a guy whose entire purpose in this game is to teach us the police getaway mechanic. After that, we're introduced to a character who actually matters. Lil Jacob is heading to a meeting and asks us to watch over him in case things go wrong. And of course they do. At first, I thought my aim was a bit shaky, but as I kept playing, I realized the aiming in this game has this little lock-on to the first enemy pixel you touch, which I swear is sometimes someone's ear. Just some FYI why some missed shots look so goofy. Next, we start working for Vlad to pay off some of Roman's debt. The first extortion job is shooting out a store's window. I probably could have used a brick to save a bullet, but this is a pistol only challenge, not pistol and brick only challenge. Then we chase and ram another guy until he stops and collect money from him. The third guy doesn't have any cash, so we take his car instead. Then Vlad orders to kill someone, and while we're chasing him, he literally warps through a truck. Since we're dealing with forces beyond human comprehension, I decide to spare him. Next up, we help Lil Jacob with a business deal where the other guys try to cheat him. My shooting is still sloppy and I waste some ammo, but thankfully, this happens. On my second attempt, I land 3 very clean headshots and then we pay a visit to the rest of their crew. In the middle of the shootout, the game shifts my crosshair to give me a hot tip on how to shoot from cover. And we also have to account for the slight movement you get when firing while in cover. We deal with the guy on the stairs and then another guy pins Jacob down. I move to a different angle and I'm guessing they installed bulletproof glass. We then head inside and clear the rest of them. We head over to Roman, who suspects Mallory has been sleeping with Vlad, probably to pay off some of his debts. Of course, we won't tolerate such disrespect to the Bellic family, so we go after him. We confront Vlad at his bar, where he makes a run for it. After a short car chase, he crashes, and this is where I discover that even during cutscenes you still consume ammo, -1. Nico then gives some insight into his past. During the war he served back home, there was a betrayal in which a lot of his friends died. Apart from him, only 2 others survived. One of them is here in Liberty City. Roman goes, "Why are you telling me all this?" And honestly, a fair point. We hide Vlad's body and scatter. Since Vlad was a part of a bigger organization, his bosses kidnap us. During our forced visit, we agree to work for Faustin and Dmitri. They send us to steal a van. We go around in a police car, stopping random vans until we find the right one. I decide not to waste ammo and just jump in. Next, we go with Dmitri to collect some money from some guys who are making a podcast and are refusing to give us a cut. We shoot the host in the leg to speed things up, and they quickly come to their senses. We then visit Lil Jacob and his higher-up, Badman. Nico being an immigrant, it is already difficult to understand Jacob, but Badman's thick Jamaican accent and lingo makes things even harder. Jacob acts as the translator. The scene boils down to:
"Ah, you see, Nico, my good lad, that dealer has been crossing forbidden grounds over in South Bohan. The fellow has been flagrantly breaking the rules, and I dare say he is in dire need of a most proper correction."
So we follow the dealer back to his base and take out his entire gang. We instantly go back to Faustin and Dmitri. They suspect of a rat and order us to kill him. I waste his bodyguard and catch up to the rat just as he gets into his car. He had a nice car and I wanted to take it, but he locked the door. Good thing he didn't lock the other one. Faustin's daughter is seeing a guy he doesn't like, so he orders us to kill him. Now the boyfriend is beefy, and shooting while driving isn't exactly my preferred state. Spending 12 bullets on a single guy isn't great, and I probably could have done it in less. But we move on. Next, Faustin makes us drive a very sensitive truck rigged with explosives to one of his competitors. Being a great driver, this mission is easy. Roman then introduces us to Brucey, who needs someone silenced. Using a police terminal, we locate the guy, but he makes off in a car. Trying to kill him while driving would probably end the challenge here, but luckily car chases have an endpoint. After that, the target loses their plot armor and becomes a regular NPC. So once he runs out of gas, we have an opening. Meanwhile, Faustin's reckless decision making has earned him a few enemies. Most importantly, Dmitri turns on him. Since all the killing has been done by us, it's required we take Faustin out. He surrounds himself with a few bodyguards and the start of the fight is clean. Then some guy runs into me and I shove him like a door. I keep moving forward and a few more show up. I probably shouldn't have wasted bullets on Faustin because he surrenders on the rooftop. Then we have a little dance-off or something. And then we spend 2 bullets for a cinematic execution. We go back to Dmitri to collect our payment, but he turns into a rat, pins all the blame on us, and sells us to Ray Bulgarin, a man Nico had an unfortunate falling out. They try to kill us, but with the help of Lil Jacob, we shoot our way out. Technically, you can pass this section by running out of the building, but I wasn't so lucky and I had to shoot a few guys to clear my path. We evade the police and go see Roman. With the outcome of recent events, he urges us to skip town. He calls Mallory to ask for a place to stay, and as we drive past the cab business and an apartment, we see both of them set on fire. When we arrive in Bohan, the 2 of us have to start fresh from the bottom. Basically, Nico doing to Roman what Roman did to Nico. Since we're down bad and really need money, we take on some work for Brucey. The problem is, the guy we're trying to ice is hard to get to. So we take a page out of Roman's playbook and scam him into a meeting. After that, we enter a race for Brucey. And since I'm a great driver, this was really easy. Sometime later, Mallory introduces us to Manny. He's filming a show about cleaning up the streets, but needs us to do all the dirty work. Cleaning up the streets involves taking out some dealers. We follow one to his hideout to wipe out the whole operation. This mission is slow and dragged out.
My fucking wheels! You're dead!
Once he stops, I make my way to the rooftop and get a few easy kills. I really didn't want to do all this following again, and since I forgot to bring armor, I had to be extra careful. But seeing how they're not moving, I make a risky leap inside, shoot a few guys, shoot a soda bottle, then one guy tries some weird tactics, but it doesn't help him much. We return to Manny, and this time we see him interacting with Francis McCreary, the deputy police commissioner. Again, he needs the streets clean and sends us to a garage. It's crucial we kill the guy in the car first, so this doesn't turn into a chase. Mother... I thought I had the advantage from climbing onto the roof, but the pistol isn't great at long range. Some ammo is wasted, but eventually it's done. Speaking of long range shootouts, we get a call from Elisabetta, a friend of Mallory's, offering some work. We're overseeing a deal involving Packy McCreary, who's buying some product. The deal is sketchy, which is why we're here. Thing is, I can only hit the first two guys. Everyone else is out of my reach. We carefully make our way down and rush to defend Packy. This one gets really scrappy, and honestly, I sometimes even shot just to shoot. But considering Packy could just die at random intervals during the mission, I'll take it. Elisabetta wants us to oversee another deal and introduces us to Playboy X. Just like the last one, this deal doesn't go so well, and the building gets surrounded by SWAT teams almost immediately. These guys are armored, but a headshot still drops them. The real issue is that at close range they deal a ton of damage, so sometimes I had to shoot them in the body just to stop them from shredding me. Another ammo heavy mission, but me and Playboy make it out alive. We go back to Manny for one more mission. Since his show has aired, some critics called it garbage. So obviously we have to kill them. The first guy walks right into me. The second one tried something. No idea what, but once he stopped, he dropped his pistol. So since I didn't want to pick it up and mess my ammo count, the passage was blocked to me. So I took the other side. The fight with the last guy gets messy, and right at the end the police show up and start shooting me from behind. I really didn't want to restart, so I started shooting and praying. Once he was dealt with, the cops calmed down. Mother. Meanwhile, Elisabetta and Jacob have their own problem. There's been a ripoff and Jacob is taking the blame. We can't let our boy go down for this, so we go clean up the mess. The stolen product is being protected in an abandoned building. I clear a few guys near the entrance, then enter inside and take out a couple more who were sticking out their heads. After that, I head behind the building and get to the second floor, so I don't have to worry about the vertical angle. Once we grab the product, the police show up. I don't stick around, just run for my getaway car. They blow out my tire, so I have to switch cars mid-chase. After we lose the heat, Jacob calls to say there's been a change of plans. When we come to the meeting place, Michelle is there. She couldn't live with that bowling defeat, so out of pure spite, she joined the police task force just to get back at us. When we return to E, she's under heavy police surveillance and could go down any moment. Suddenly, Manny barges in and we have to get rid of the bodies. While driving to our destination, they try to make a run for it. A few times.
Shit, were you guys trying to make a break for it?
At some point, we get a message from an unknown number asking us to come see them. It's Francis McCreary. This guy is police, but also corrupt. He's having problems with a blackmailer. I land a very clean headshot and deliver the storage device back to Francis. We then get a call from Packy offering some work. He got intel about some product entering the city and wants us to intercept it. All things considered, this is a very clean interception. Once we take the truck with the goods, of course a chase follows. Whatever this was, it failed miserably.
Don't get up when I fucking put you down!
At the lockup, we get a glimpse of Ray and exchange numbers. Right after, we take on another ammo taxing job, raiding a harbor to steal someone else's payday. And then comes the big one, a bank heist. We do no preparations and just go and try. This is the most chaotic mission yet because of the sheer number of enemies. As a result, it becomes the most ammo spending mission in the entire challenge. There's one more mission later on that's also extremely taxing, but this one takes the #1 spot. We narrowly avoid death at the end, grab a conveniently placed medkit and make the getaway. Sometime later, Francis is being blackmailed again. This time the target is a lawyer, and getting the blackmail material isn't as easy. We set up a job interview and his room is a bit bland and monotone, so we add a splash of red into the mix. We proceed to shoot the guards who are very pesky and wouldn't let me jump out of the window. We head back to Francis, who has another guy threatening to expose him. This guy is at the project's building, and once the shootout starts, he runs off all the way to the roof with multiple enemies along the way. Since the bank mission, I'm still feeling vulnerable, so I decide to skip the chase and go straight for him. He eats a few extra bullets, but it's definitely better than chasing him all the way up. Then Francis comes in all pissed off, saying we didn't get all of them, and that a boyfriend of the guy we iced is threatening to expose him. So we go get that guy too. Playboy then wants to clear out an occupied construction site so he can cozy up to the owner. This was one of those missions where ammo wasn't an issue. Health was. Since throwing myself at them wasn't working, I decided on a different approach. Among the sea of enemies, we really only need to kill 4. So we drive by the first guy, head to the second floor, cancel the stupid cutscene, get back in the car, take out the second guy, keep driving and ignore everyone, clip the third guy, and quickly head to the fourth who's climbing a ladder. I shoot him and the dumbass falls and dies. Then one of his goons does the exact same thing. This car is the definition of I didn't hear no bell ring. We go back to Playboy and he asks us to identify and eliminate someone. Then he sends us to help an old friend of his, an OG, Dwayne, who just got out of prison. And he sends us after people who don't respect him no more. In the middle of the chase, I shoot at this respectful guy and he falls off his bike. Then he starts doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I wanted a clean shot and still didn't get it. Dwayne also used to run a gentleman's place that's been taken over. Problem here is that the management is scattered all over the place, with multiple exits. So I quickly dispose of the first 2 guys and run to the third, who got stuck and wasn't able to make an escape. We then get a call from the bowling loser and get introduced to, well, we'll call him Yule Paper Agent. The guy is definitely some sort of government entity. In exchange for not putting an arrest warrant on us, we agree to work for him. He sends us looking for a fella. After checking out his apartment to figure out where he might be, we ambush him at a meeting. After a very lengthy chase, he finally runs out of gas, and we get a very clean kill. As we're heading back to the agent, Mallory calls, saying Roman has been kidnapped, followed by a picture from Dimitri showing Roman being held at gunpoint. When we arrive to Roman's rescue, I go absolutely ham on the guy standing guard. Everything happens very fast and clean. Within a couple of minutes, we reach Roman, who is being held at gunpoint. And again, everything happens very fast. We grab our cousin and get him to safety. We go to the Yule Paper Agent and he wants another guy dead. Using a police computer, we locate him and the rest of his gang. I catch a few fellas off guard and one by one they fall. Oh, and the last guy. The last guy has a blinking marker. Usually that's reserved for special NPCs. So I just wanted to see what happens. He really was dedicated until...
Now you learn how we fight in Russia.
Yeah, kind of a disappointment. Then the agent tasks us with stealing a helicopter. There was some resistance, but the notable thing here is that while flying, Roman decides to send a picture of his cheeks. That's definitely meant for Mallory, but we cannot unsee that now. Anyway, that helicopter was stolen so we can assassinate another target. All we're doing is flying around while Jacob tries to hit the guy with a rocket launcher. Meanwhile, Dwayne and Playboy are not getting along. Both of them ask Nico to ice the other. I always go with Playboy, and this time was no different. We deal with his boys and then corner him in an alleyway. It's crazy how Playboy escaped the hood. He had endless possibilities with all that money, yet because of his greed, he dies on the same streets. We get a call from another McCreary. This time it's Gary. He wants to start a gang war by having us assassinate a high-ranking individual within the mafia. We plant explosives on a car, follow it to a hideout, rig the explosives, and clean up the rest of the fellas. We continue Gary's divide and conquer strategy, and this time we dress up as one of the gang members and go kill a guy. Now, driving a motorcycle in this game is, well, not easy. But thankfully, it's a two-way street, and the dumbass also crashes. We then go to another McCreary, just so we're all on the same page. Packy is our guy. Francis is the corrupt police guy. Gary is the head of the family guy. And Derek is the crackhead guy. Oh, and there's also Kate, Nico's love interest. So the crackhead guy needs help taking care of all business, which involves getting a police car, spooking a guy, and making him reveal their base of operations. We take down the whole gang and move on. We then head to Ray Frappuccino, and he and his friend had a falling out. We ask the locals for any useful information and get told where the friend is hiding. This guy had a good feeling of what was coming and moved right before I shot, making me waste a bullet. I'm pretty sure if you don't take him out, those two goons get aggressive, so maybe I saved a bullet. We clear one floor, move up to the other, then another, go through an apartment, and while we're searching for him, he slams the door in our face and runs off. We chase him to the roof and execute him. And if this was a synchronized diving competition, that would be a solid 10. Now, Ray has a big thing going on. He has some diamonds he nicked and wants us to be part of the retrieval. We meet Luca and his crew, pose as waste collectors, and discreetly, without attracting any attention, try to pick up the diamonds, hidden somewhere among the trash. Of course, the discreet part doesn't happen and we have a tail. But we lose the tail because they crash into an incoming car and just nope the chase entirely. We leave Luca with the diamonds, call Ray about a job well done, but plot twist, Luca never handed in the diamonds. So Ray sends us to retrieve them. The fellas are already seen having packed their bags, and once confronted, they make a run for it. We chase them across town until eventually they crash and run into a public restroom to hide. Then some homeless guy sprints into me and I fold him like laundry. I'm pretty sure the game hides which one is Luca because none of the models look like his. So we have to spend a few bullets opening the doors. We take the diamonds and give them back to Ray. Naturally, the next step is selling them. The exchange is interrupted and both the money and the diamonds are lost. We clear the second floor, then move to the first. It gets sketchy right at the end, but thankfully we grab a medkit before heading outside. I don't know what Isaac's crew thought, but they chased me like I had the diamonds. They would not let go. The only reason I got away is because I'm pretty sure they took a wrong turn. We then go close a few loose ends from the exchange, starting with some bikers. The first biker decided to self-destruct and take me out with him. Then for the second biker, I decided to style on him. Truck shots only. We then go silence Isaac, and it's just a lot of shooting, and I do mean a lot. We then get a call from Ray, who found Florian, one of the people we've been hunting for since the beginning. We pick up Roman and bust through his door. But Florian had a makeover and goes by Bernie now. And it turns out he wasn't the one who betrayed the group. The visit isn't completely fruitless. At least we've finally identified who is responsible. We go to the crackhead brother and help a fella smuggle fake money into the country. Shooting from the boat would probably diminish my remaining ammo. But luckily our crackhead friend is not a bad shooter. Say what you want about his drug problem, but at least it helps him focus. Once the initial chase is finished, a chopper appears that must be destroyed. Derek stops shooting, so it's up to us to deal with it. Dumping bullets into the helicopter until it blows up felt extremely wasteful. But there is a tiny opening where the chopper turns where you can shoot the pilot. Many missed shots later, he goes down. Then we escort the guy with the fake bills to the shore and it's done. Derek has one last thing for us. He wants an old friend of his gone. Problem is that old friend is in police custody. We set up an ambush while he's being transported and steal the van he's in. Nothing suspicious, officers. This is definitely not the same stolen van coming from that dead end. And then we off him. Francis starts panicking because the crackhead brother is planning to talk to the press, and Francis is terrified he'll say something that'll put him in a bad spotlight. Then Derek calls saying Francis might try something, so before anything happens we should take him out. Then we're presented a choice. If it were up to me, I'd get rid of both, but keeping Francis alive does help us occasionally clear a wanted level. So we make the practical choice. We then go to Derek's funeral, where some Albanians decide to disrupt the ceremony. We have a massive shootout on the streets, and oh my god, one of them is so wobbly it made me want to smash something. I tried to get away from them, but they damaged the car so badly Derek almost slipped out. So I was forced to get out and deal with them. We go reunite with Bernie, who has a lot of negativity in his life. First, we chase a guy on a scooter who's being hateful. Then we chase a guy in a car who's being hateful. Then we chase a guy in a boat who's being hateful. While all that is happening, Gary gets taken into custody. But even inside, he wants to make a move. He wants to kidnap a mafia boss's daughter. Her name is Gracie and she's selling a car and we pose as the buyer. She of course has a disagreement with our plan about her kidnapping, but after some convincing she calms down. Now during some missions your friends will call you to invite you to do some activities. And every single time Nico is doing something insane. It always reminds me of this.
Yo, you wanna go down to the strip club, Mr. Mitch, yeah?
I'm in the abandoned city of Pripyat.
We should go and get drunk together.
I'm inside one of the inching down oil tanks.
How about we go check out some naked bitches?
I am in an unpowered glider.
Then Ray introduces us to Phil, who asks us to steal a truck with some product. It's a pretty standard mission. Some shooting, then hopping into a truck, and during the cutscene we even shoot a fellow without consuming ammo. After that we deliver the truck to a guy who's supposed to watch it until the heat dies down. Since Nico has been moving up in the criminal underworld, he gets introduced to Jimmy Pecorino, the head of the Pecorino family. There are 5 major mafia families, and Pecorino wants to be the 6th. To help him do that, he sets up a meeting with the Pavanos, and we're his insurance. Just like the last time, we can't really reach anyone. Jumping out of the window doesn't work. Jumping in the back and rushing to Pecorino triggers a mission fail. So we have to do something entirely outside the scope. We set ourselves on fire and ragdoll out of the window. Oof, so close. And listen, this was not easy. The randomness was insane. It took so many attempts before this actually worked. And the worst part, the long drive to the destination.
Do you mind if I put this on?
Okay, no more Bluetooth privileges, Jimbo. On the successful attempt, we launch ourselves out of the window and hurry to protect Pecorino. Once he's safe, we go retrieve his offering. After the disrespect, he sends us back at the Pavanos, and we hit them at the car dealership. Then we join Phil and again try to steal some product at the boatyard. It's not an easy fight, but thankfully the conveniently placed armor and health kit don't let us die. When we steal the product, 2 boats chase us. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have fought the first boat, because moments later the other boat chasing Phil just gives up. Now somehow a guy called Fat Charlie figured out it was us who stole those boats. We chase him through the factory, killing his goons. And the fat man definitely earned that name because he ate a full clip and still managed to climb a wall. Then he tries to escape by helicopter. Even though we kill him, if the chopper flies off, we still fail the mission. The roof we're on gives a terrible angle, so we quickly climb one of the nearby towers and dispose of the pilot from there. Now, it was time to move that product we left in one of the storages. And of course, the guy who was supposed to watch over it is absolutely clueless about the fact that the Fats have been closely watching this place. The whole thing turns into a scripted chase. And before we know it, we're blasting our way out just to reach a getaway van. Once we're finally in the clear, Gary calls saying it's time to make the exchange. Packy comes along and we trade Gracie for the diamonds. Just as we're about to pick them up, Bulgarin shows up and claims the diamonds as his own. One of his goons manages to snatch the baggie, and a shootout begins. We fight our way up the stairs, pushing through until we finally corner the thief. He chooses for no one to have the diamonds, and just throws them away. At this point, we really moved up in the game, because the Yule Paper agent sets up a meeting with John Gravelli, the head of the 5 families. If anyone can help us get the man we're looking for, it's him. Gravelli wants us personally delivering a politician to the city hall, but we get ambushed and have to protect the guy. Once we clear out the attackers, a chase begins. I seriously don't know how they managed to fumble this ambush and not pin me down, but they did. When the politician is safe, we head back to Gravelli. He heard that someone smuggled fake money into the country, and he sends us to stop the inflation. We go to the restaurant and end up in another shootout. As we're chasing him, he managed to get into a car. I continue the chase until I get a clean shot, and that's that. Gravelli's last request is to dispose of some vans loaded with product. When I arrive, it gets a little sketchy, but after I find proper cover and isolate the fights, it starts going smoother. My initial plan was to gather all the vans around a forklift and shoot a big red canister. Like, am I the only one who imagined this working? By any game logic, this should have worked. Big red barrel, canister, whatever. But no. So for plan B, I just grab a car, ram the vans a few times, and just wait for the fireworks. Now Pecorino's operation isn't doing too well. Actually, it's doing horribly, because his own bodyguard talked to the feds. The poor bastard had a heart attack and is now sitting in witness protection. We disguise ourselves as a doctor, slip into his room, unplug the life support, and just as I'm about to leave, they figure out it was me. I dropped 2 police officers near the exit because I felt like they were about to light me up, and then run out and evade the police. Pecorino keeps cleaning house. After some careful consideration, he orders us to take out Ray. They stop at a gas station, and while it takes a moment to figure out which car Ray is sitting in, I do eventually pump him full of lead. His bodyguards immediately shred my car, but I manage to jump out. They don't. Then we get a call from the UL paper agent saying he's got the last guy. We pick up Roman at the snack bar. Huh. You know what? Maybe all those fat jokes are deserved. The encounter with Darko is a tough dilemma, but it all comes down to him being too wobbly and me not wanting to waste any unnecessary ammo, because if you haven't noticed, I'm almost out. And then another dilemma hits us. Pecorino demands we make a deal with Dimitri, but he is our arch nemesis, and we're not doing that. This turns into a proper arch nemesis battle. The guys on the deck are absolutely ruthless. By the time I even step inside, I'm nearly dead. I keep pushing forward until we reach the control room and open the cargo hold. Then one guy has a heart attack from all the stress. Then I make a risky jump inside and almost get blasted by one of the fellas. We clear a few more goons until Dimitri finally shows himself. It gets butt-clenchingly close at the end, but Dimitri yields. I put 3 bullets into the bastard and left with a grand total of 41 bullets. At the same time, Roman is getting married, and as our +1, we invite Kate.
But do you think the men you've dealt with will just let you leave and walk into the sunset?
They didn't.
You won't regret this, Kate.
She did. Sometime after the wedding, we go after Pecorino. For this entire last section, we have 41 bullets, with 1 reserved for Pecorino. I decide the best approach is to clear the guys on the roof, then take out a few closest to the left and sneak inside. This room is tight, so all of them have to go. When we finally encounter Pecorino, we're left with 25 bullets. As we continue chasing him, I spend 11 on his goons, leaving me with 14. The entire challenge comes down to these 14 bullets. Roman and Jacob fly in with a helicopter. We pull off an epic stunt, and for a short while we follow Pecorino until he shoots us down with an RPG. Then both Pecorino and Nico land on an island. One of his goons tries to backstab us, and 2 policemen get involved. I missed 1 shot, leaving us with 10 bullets. Then it goes down to 9, 8, 7, 6. We start exchanging shots. It's a proper duel. My HP is dangerously low. 5, 4, 3. I missed nothing. Then 2, leaving us with just 1 bullet for the cutscene. Nico, what are you doing? Nico, put that AK down. Everything had been perfectly planned for this perfect ending. Well, I guess not. Maybe that bullet was meant for Darko, or maybe 1 more for Dimitri out of spite, or maybe that annoying guy in Bohan, or maybe it's a sign to put it away and move on to bigger and better things. And that's the challenge completed. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you have any suggestions or just want to say hi, leave a comment. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.